Hello friends, welcome back to Technique. In this video, we'll be doing a comparison of two phones which you guys have been asking us a lot. The OnePlus Nord 4 with the iQOO Neo 10R. So two really powerful mid-range devices around the 25 to 30,000 price segment. Now both of them similarly priced, but you do get a slightly better processor, the Snapdragon 8s Gen 3 at this price segment in the iQOO Neo 10R. Now the OnePlus Nord 4 is almost 8 to 9 months old, and this device ships with the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3. It was the most powerful chip during that time in the 30,000 price segment. So how good the device is in terms of overall experience, which is a better device to buy if you're a gamer, which is a device to buy, which is better in terms of camera, and which is the better overall package of the two. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So before getting into the video, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. So let's first talk about the design and build quality. Now one thing what you can notice from the design of the two devices is the OnePlus Nord 4 is the better looking device out there. It is well designed device. It kind of standout design when it comes to other devices in this price segment. The iQOO Neo 10R has a very similar design as that of the iQOO's 13 series and a lot of series, but this is kind of very unique design. And in terms of build quality as well, you can see this is completely metal chassis and metal build, while this is completely polycarbonate material. So there is no competition here as such. Build quality and design, definitely the OnePlus Nord 4 is the winner. Now it's a really nice design. In hand experience feels really nice. It feels very rigid because of the metal chassis, while in our previous video as well we mentioned that the iQOO Neo 10R build quality is kind of very average, I would say. Especially the back panel feels very flimsy, although the body of the device looks quite rigid, even though it's a polycarbonate. Still, I would say in terms of the two devices, the design and build quality, the OnePlus Nord 4 is the winner without any sort of doubt. So what do you guys think about the design of these two devices? Which of these devices do you like? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Next, let's move on to the display. Now we have a 6.78 inches display on the iQOO Neo 10R, while this is a 6.74 inches. Not much of difference in terms of display sizes. Now here we have 4500 nits of peak brightness, while this is just half around 2150 nits of peak brightness. Both are AMOLED panels, 144 refresh rate with 120 Hz refresh rate on the Nord 4. So in terms of display experience, you can see here both have really good colors and richer tones. HDR10 Plus is supported. Both have almost same resolution, same pixels per inch, but the brightness level on the iQOO Neo 10R is definitely better on the OnePlus Nord 4. So in terms of display experience, while the experience is almost similar, the brightness of the display makes the iQOO Neo 10R slightly ahead in terms of overall display experience compared to the OnePlus Nord 4. So that was the display. Now both those devices have really good touch response. The colors are really nice and wide, and overall experience with the display, especially when watching movies, is quite similar. But when it goes to outdoor experience, probably the iQOO Neo 10R has an advantage with the extra brightness, peak brightness levels. Next, let's move on to the software experience. Now, these two devices have two different software experience. Now, here we have the WhchOS 15 on top of Android 15. Now, this device was launched with Android 14, and now it has iQOO 15 and Android 15. So now both of these devices have got the update. So literally Android 15 on both the phones. Now, here we have iQOO 15 and WhchOS 15. Now, when I used both these devices, I could clearly see that the iQOO 15 is more superior in terms of overall experience, be it the animations and be it the experience, the overall UI consistency. Everything looks better on the OnePlus Nord 4. The Nord 4 with iQOO feels very refined actually. We have done the detailed video on that. The refinement is definitely good, and the iQOO 15 is really optimized as well. While the iQOO Neo 10R with the WhchOS feels kind of inconsistent in terms of UI experience. It's a mixture of OriginOS and the WhchOS, making it kind of inconsistent in terms of UI elements. Even the animations were not that smooth on the iQOO Neo 10R, which we feel could be fixed via a software update, but as of now we feel it was kind of jittery in nature. In the speed test also you could see that the experience was not that great. So in terms of software experience, I would say the iQOO 15 on the OnePlus Nord 4 is definitely ahead compared to the WhchOS. Now this came with 4 years of Android update, so even though 1 year is already completed, still you get 3 years of Android updates, and here you get 3 years of Android updates. So even now if you buy both these devices, will get exact same years of Android updates. So that was the software experience. Let's move on to the performance. So this is one major thing where the iQOO Neo 10R takes the lead. The Snapdragon 8s Gen 3 versus the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3. Now in terms of experience, obviously the Snapdragon 8s Gen 3 is more powerful. So if you are a gamer, if you play a lot of games, without any doubt go with the iQOO Neo 10R, because that's the most powerful gaming chip available in this price segment. So you don't have to worry about anything if you are more into gaming. Pick the iQOO Neo 10R. But having said that, the gaming experience on the OnePlus Nord 4 is also quite okay with the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3. It is really powerful. Now both those devices have UFS 4.0 and up, in fact 4.1 on this, but this is only for the 256GB variant and above. 128 is 3.1 on both the phones. Now both have a pretty good experience in terms of RAM, LPDDR5X RAM, and almost really good in terms of performance. But unless you are a gamer, both these devices offers very similar experience in terms of performance. Both are stereo speakers and dual SIM card support. In-display fingerprint scanner also works very well. So nothing much to differentiate in that. Network signal strength is also really good on both the phones. So we couldn't see much of difference in terms of overall performance unless you are a gamer. If you are a gamer, again I would say pick the iQOO Neo 10R without any doubt. Next, let's move on to the cameras. Let's see which of these devices is the better camera out there. Now we have a 50 megapixel primary sensor, Sony sensor. Then you have 8 megapixel ultra wide, 32 megapixel selfie camera. Here we have 50 megapixel primary, again 8 megapixel ultra wide and the 16 megapixel selfie camera. Now both the devices can do 4K 60 FPS video using the rear camera. Let's have a look at the camera samples to see which performs better. Looking at the details in the daylight conditions, you can see here both have really good details and the sharpness levels. Colors are richer or rather saturated on the iQOO Neo 10R, while both produces pretty good results overall. The contrast looks slightly higher on iQOO Neo 10R, but sharpness levels, HDR performance looks very similar on both the phones. Neither of them are really class leading, but neither of them will disappoint. So in terms of daylight conditions, there isn't anything much to decide. Now when it comes to ultra wide, very similar experience. Both are kind of very much average experience. 8 megapixel shooter has quite good colors, but sharpness and details are not that impressive. Now when it comes to close-up images, both produces very similar results. Again, nothing much to differentiate between the two devices. Now when it comes to portrait, I feel iQOO Neo 10R has slightly better portraits, especially the skin tones look slightly better, and even edge detection also was slightly better overall. Now coming to low light experience, here we feel iQOO was slightly richer in tones and had an artificial look to the low light experience, while Nord 4 was more natural looking. So we would pick the Nord 4 in terms of low light experience. Now finally the selfie experience, once again iQOO Neo 10R was slightly better overall in terms of detailing. The face tones were also better. Even edge detection was also better on the iQOO Neo 10R. Now finally moving on to the video recording, both can do 4K 60 FPS using the rear camera. iQOO Neo 10R has a focus hunting issue, while it is slightly better on the OnePlus Nord 4. Now both the devices can record videos in 1080p 60 FPS and 1080p 30 FPS as well. Now that was the detailed camera experience of these two devices. So neither of them are superior in terms of camera experience. Both have its own advantages. Daylight captures both were pretty good. Then portraits were better on the iQOO Neo 10R, while low light was better on the OnePlus Nord 4. And it's a mixed performance in terms of camera. So when it comes to camera performance, neither of them are superior, nor neither of them will disappoint. So that was the camera experience. Now finally moving on to the battery life. Now both these devices have really large capacity battery, 6400 mAh 80 watt charging, 5500 mAh 100 watt. Now the 100 watt charging takes just half an hour to charge the 5500 mAh battery, so it's really fast, while the 80 watt takes around 1 hour to charge the 6400 mAh battery. Again, it's 900 mAh addition, so that will take more time to charge. Now battery performance very good on both the devices, excellent performance on devices, but then because of the additional 900 mAh battery on the iQOO Neo 10R, especially if you are a gamer, you would definitely get more battery life with iQOO Neo 10R. So in terms of battery life, iQOO Neo 10R is the winner because it has a larger capacity battery. But charging, I would say the Nord 4 is the faster one with 100 watt charging. So that was a detailed comparison of these two devices. So summing up, which one should you buy? Now OnePlus Now, iQOO Neo 10 has its own strength in the form of Snapdragon 8s Gen 3, pretty good camera experience, good battery life, 80-watt charging is there, good display, one of the brightest display out there with 4500 nits of peak brightness. And overall, the experience is good, and the pricing is also really nice. With card offers, you can get the base variant for around 25,000 rupees. But where the iQOO Neo 10R falls behind is in terms of the build quality and also the software experience. These are two areas where the iQOO Neo 10R falls behind. Now, when it comes to the OnePlus Nord 4, it has a good design, build quality, decent display experience, excellent software experience, good battery life, good charging speed, good performance as well. Now, the cameras are kind of okay, I would say, nothing much to complain, but then it's not the best out there. So, looking at these two devices, if you are a gamer, once again I would say go with the iQOO Neo 10R without any sort of doubt. But if you are looking for an all-round package for the 25 to 30,000 price segment, our pick would be the OnePlus Nord 4 with its all-round performance, including design, build quality, excellent software experience, good performance, good battery life, and it's a more refined package at around 25,000 rupees for the base variant than the iQOO Neo 10R. Now, iQOO Neo 10R is a gamer's device, and for gamers, the larger capacity battery and 144Hz refresh rate and the Snapdragon 8s Gen 3 makes a really great choice. But if I were to pick one of these devices, my pick would be the OnePlus Nord 4. So what do you guys think about these two devices? Which of these devices is your pick? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. This is Namra signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.